Control Center head Colonel General Mikhail Mijitsev has said that 130 buses are ready to evacuate stranded Indian students and other foreigners from war-torn Kharkov and Sumy cities to Russia Belgorod region. So, do we have any information and any touch with them regarding this facility that they are giving? And to add to this, Quad summit is going to be held. So who initiated?
That's a distinctly second question, different.
No,
it's not related. Why don't I come back to it? I'll give you the microphone. No, 1 second. I saw a couple of hands that side. Okay. So I'll take that one.
I wanted to ask actually about more clarity, and I think it's already been asked about the Russian allegations. But I wanted to ask for more clarity on your own announcement yesterday that it was Russian inputs that allowed India to pull its citizens or tell its citizens to flee Kharkiv at a certain hour's notice. Is that part of ongoing coordination between India and Russia? Are they telling us where they're going to bomb next so that we can get our citizens out? I'm asking this because we have seen enough reports today that suggest that Russia held off bombing Kharkiv in order to allow Indian citizens to leave. So we'd like a little more clarity. Yesterday you said you weren't in a position to tell us more about the Russian inputs, but just on the nature of the kind of cooperation between India and Russia when it comes to this. Part of this is also a report you may have seen on something called Axios.com today that says that the US State Department has now recalled a cable it sent out, but in that cable it said that India's abstention is firmly putting India in quote-unquote the Russian camp. I was wondering if you would react to the idea that India's abstention actually places it in what the US State Department, which has not denied the presence of the cable, there's a US State Department spokesperson quoted in that report, refers to as the Russian camp.
Just 1 second. No, hold on. I have to give it to Siddhant. I forgot. Siddhant, your turn.
Hi, sir. I'm Siddhant from Beyond. My question was how much the Ukrainians and the Russians have been instrumental yesterday evening in terms of the Indians able to leave Kharkiv. The role especially played by the Ukrainians and played by the Russians.
Okay. And I'll take one more or maybe a couple of more. I had promised that. So I'll come back. Don't worry.
Myself, Urvashi Kona from NewsX. So there's one particular Indian doctor who's still stuck in Kyiv. While there was, a call that was being said that everyone has been evacuated from Kyiv, this doctor and his whole family are waiting for help from the side of India. And he's also seems to be some medical problem with him where he himself can't travel. If we can just address him.
Okay. Who was the person? Shinjak, please. I'll come back.
So you would have seen that Tamil Nadu has decided to send 4 MPs to Hungary, Romania, Poland, Slovakia, and also 4 IS officers as part of the team. How is the coordination between the Indian government and state governments happening in a foreign country? How is it turning out? The other point, of course, relates to getting people out of Kharkov. At this point, would you be able to say approximately how many Indians are still in Kharkov?
Okay, let me take this round of questions and I'll just take one more round after that. I'll come back to you. Look, Akhilesh, you started off with this statement. Look, I can't comment on the details because I haven't seen it, but as I said, we are in touch with all countries that are involved, particularly the Ukrainian Russians, of course. And if that works out, excellent. As I said, our request, which has been made the Prime Minister level, the Foreign Minister level, at any other level with the Ukrainians, is find a safe passage for our citizens. Whether it is exactly by a bus or a train or which route, I think we are not really prescriptive on that. So if it works out, great. But I'm not aware of how that will work out. We have teams in Belgorod, we have it in Kursk. If that route works out, great. But I'm not aware of any subsequent developments on that.
Is he telling that they will take us to Russian region?
Fair enough. But they need to take them, no? Very good. but they're still inside Kharkiv. I'm not sure how I should react to it. We would love to have us people out. I don't understand. A discussion here on the modalities helps. I'll come back to it. I had a question, I think, exactly from Siddhant on this, on what is the kind of coordination discussion. Look, we are in touch at various levels, whether here in Delhi, in the capitals, at various levels. Our ambassador is in touch in Kyiv with the Ukrainian side. Our ambassador in Moscow is in touch. Here you heard the Prime Minister spoke to President Putin. So I don't know exactly what exact role, as I said, and that brings me, I think, what Suhasini was asking the first question, which was on, look, I don't know if I can add anything more. We got the specific inputs that, look, this is a route that's available. These are the places that Indian citizens should go by this time. We conveyed that to our citizens. And I'm happy that many could make it, not in the best of circumstances perhaps, because I think there were sporadic incidents of violence, but this is a war zone and I can't comment on the exact details. We haven't met them yet. But I'm happy that a significant number of people could come out through that route and through whatever trains. So I think that's the kind of conversation. But extrapolating that to say that somebody is holding off bombing or that this is somewhere we are coordinating that, I think is absolutely inaccurate. I don't think. If I could be more facetious, then it will extrapolate itself. So we would then order a resumption of bombing. I think that's really getting a bit much ahead of ourselves. You also had some query on Axios. I saw that media story. It's a media story out of somewhere. It's got nothing to do with us actually. It's some cable which is sent, some cable which is taken back. I haven't seen that cable. I don't know what to comment on it. It's an internal story, so I don't like to say anything on that. Urvashi asked about Kyiv and Foreign Secretary. Look, I think the Foreign Secretary's statement was pretty clear. I don't want to comment on Foreign Secretary's statement actually. If I recollect correctly, he said as far as we were aware, all the people who were in touch with us had left, a very strong advisory had been issued, and that nobody had contacted us subsequently. I saw a media report, where it said that one family there, and they said they were in touch with a couple of more people. I'm not sure because these things change. There is a time issue. There is a certain point the story comes out that runs for some more time. But I would like to assure people that if anybody is actually stuck or still stranded in various parts, this is not a one-off thing. We are going to be continuing to be in touch with them, to guide them, to see how we can assist them to leave any place where they are at danger. So I think that is something that we would like to emphasize. We had a comment from Shinjoy regarding coordination with... Look, I think the coordination with the state government has been excellent. In fact, I would say this is a whole of India approach, to be honest, both across the central government with various ministries, but also with the state governments. We've been sharing with them the manifests, list of people. They have been coordinating once they are in Delhi or in one flight Mumbai and then taking them. I think that has worked out well. I'm not aware of... officers actually having gone abroad. I don't know if they've decided to send is something I cannot comment on. But as far as I know, none of them have gone abroad. Or I don't know how that would help or whether the host governments would be comfortable just having another channel. As you know, we have special envoys of the Prime Minister there, senior cabinet ministers. And we have our embassy. But again, let me not comment on something that's hypothetical for the moment. Let me stop here and take another round of questions. Okay, ma'am. I think I saw your hand first. Hold on. Sorry. And so after you that.
Hi, I'm Yeshi from the New Indian Express. My question is that once, hypothetically, there are 2,000 more people still stranded in Ukraine and they are evacuated, what happens to the embassy there? Will that be shut temporarily? Because you said that it's gone to Lviv, right? Where are the embassy staffers right now? So will it be temporarily shut?
So your question is basically where the embassy will be?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, ma'am. No, I had promised Sudhi. Sudhi, third time you raised your hand.
Sir, Shudhiranjan from Bloomberg, sir. The Prime Minister is expected to speak at the Quad meeting shortly from now. If you could give us an understanding of our position there and what is likely to be discussed in that meeting, sir. Thank you.
Sir?
Once, somebody had related. You had related earlier? Okay, please. Yeah, please. Sorry.
Sir, I'm Achilles from Sansar TV. You know that Quad meeting has come suddenly to us, and can we have an understanding that India has been abstaining in all event forums on this issue, But we had been raising territorial integrity, sovereignty of nations, and security concerns of all the parties. So, has this Quad meeting been initiated by us or by some other country? And are we going to?
I have lost you on this question. This is 3 different topics. I've got what you. I'll try to come back to you. I know, but it's too. I've got what you want to say, but I don't follow what how it is related to the poor previous question, ma'am. Please. Oh, okay.
हाँ सर, मैं कविता हूँ हरिभूमि न्यूज़पेपर से। सर मैं ये पूछना चाहती हूँ कि यूक्रेन में जो 2 भारतीय छात्र मारे गए हैं, उसमें से एक छात्र जो नवीन है, उसको लेकर के प्रधानमंत्री ने उनके परिवार से भी बात की थी और अपनी संवेदनाएं भी प्रकट की हैं। सर अभी डिप्लोमेटिक लेवल पे इंडिया की क्या कोई बातचीत हुई है यूक्रेन की सरकार से कि कब तक उनके शव को यहाँ पर लाया जाएगा, क्योंकि परिवार बहुत दिनों से इंतजार कर रहा है अंतिम संस्कार के लिए हमारे देश में, तो क्या कोऑर्डिनेशन हुआ है? और सर एक सवाल, ये सुहासिनी मैम के सवाल से ही जुड़ा हुआ मेरा सवाल है सर, ये कि रशिया ने जो कहा है कि हम मानवीय गलियारा भारत को प्रदान करेंगे इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स को एग्जिट देने के लिए यूक्रेन से, जो रशिया में एंटर करेगा उनको और वहां से होगा। सर रशिया के साथ डिप्लोमेटिक लेवल पे हमारी बातचीत अभी कहाँ पहुंची है? क्या इसकी शुरुआत नजर आ रही है रशिया के साथ कि हमें मानवीय गलियारा अभी वो बनाकर दे रहे हैं, युद्ध विराम करेंगे, ऐसे कुछ इंडिकेशंस हैं?
जी, I think though I saw a hand behind. Who was it, Jerry? Yeah, please.
Thanks. I just wanted to ask...
for the record, introduce.
Jerry Shue with the Washington Post. I just wanted to ask, if it hasn't been asked yet, Russian President Vladimir Putin said yesterday that there were efforts to install a humanitarian corridor to Russia. What's your knowledge? Has this actually been started? Have any Indians actually used it? Does it actually exist? Thanks.
I think there's similar questions. I don't know how many questions are left, because then I can... Okay, you have more hands. Okay, what we'll do is we'll take the final round after this. Okay, let me just try to answer some of them. Look, on the status of the embassy, I think, Yeshi, you asked. Look, I think I said it yesterday very clearly. Let me repeat what... The embassy in Kyiv, a component of that, a team from Kyiv was asked to move to Lviv. We have an office there now functioning. A significant part of that embassy moved there. I think on Monday they left, or Tuesday would have reached. They are trying to help Indians who are trying to cross over from the western borders. The other part of it was moving. They were a little more dynamic where they were, because we were trying to see if they can go to the eastern borders or eastern part of that effort still continues, so that we can try to go towards the eastern side and try to help the people who are now coming out of Kharkiv or other places. I don't have an exact understanding where they are right now, but that's the thinking of that. What happens? Repeat that. The embassy in Kyiv, on Monday, they were asked, a significant part of that embassy was asked to move to Lviv and operate that. The other part of that team of the embassy was asked to go to the other parts of the border, which is, we're looking at more at the east, but that's still something dynamic in process. They have not reached there. There are certain difficulties in reaching. So I don't know exactly where they are, and we'll share with that. You may ask about what will happen once everything will be shut down. We'll take a decision then. I don't think the embassy is shut in any manner right now. Our ambassador is there. Embassy is fully functional. We got Sudhi and then Akhilesh's related question. Akhilesh, you said it came suddenly. This is not a natural disaster. So, I mean, you may have heard it today morning, but... Okay. Yes, of course, it's not a regular one. Look, on the Quad, I think we issued a statement today morning that there will be a virtual meeting today evening. Let me reiterate that we think this will be an opportunity for the leaders to continue their dialogue after September 2021 summit, the Leaders Summit in Washington. We expect they will exchange views and assessment about important developments in the Indo-Pacific. They will also review ongoing efforts to implement the leaders' initiatives that were announced as part of the Quad's contemporary and positive agenda. I don't think it's appropriate, nor would I try to speculate what the leaders are going to say in the Quad. What we will do is there would be a joint call readout after the Quad, and we will share that. This will be a joint readout of the call across all 4 countries, and we will share that with you once the meeting is over. I think it's in a little while. I think it's about an hour's time, but I'm not exactly sure. It's not open. It's a closed meeting. It's not open for the media. So I think that answers both your question and this. कविता जी आपने पूछा, एंड आई थिंक जेरी आस्क्ड द सेम क्वेश्चन एंड आई आस्क्ड इन बोथ अबाउट कविता जी आपने पूछा था अबाउट दो। देखिए, 2 लोग मारे गए हैं, बहुत डिफरेंट सर्कमस्टांस से मरे हैं। एक नेचुरल कॉजेज से, बहुत अलग अलग जगह में भी है, काफी दूर है, विस्निया वेस्टर्न यूक्रेन में है। आप नवीन जी की बात कर रहे होंगे, दूसरे तो भी हॉस्पिटल में है और जैसे हो सकता है निकाल लेंगे उनके फॉर्मेलिटीज करने के बाद उनका जो पार्थिव शरीर है वो तो हॉस्पिटल में। बट नवीन जी की बात जो कर रहे हैं, जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जोन में है खार्किव में, देखिए इस पे हमारी नजर बनाए हुए हैं। आपने पूछा, इसमें हम लोकल अथॉरिटी से बात कर रहे हैं। कल मैंने जैसे कहा, फॉरेन सेक्रेटरी ने डेप्यूटी फॉरेन मिनिस्टर यूक्रेन के साथ बातचीत हुई थी कल रात को करीब 1-2 बजे। उसमें भी ये मुद्दा उठाया गया और कहा गया, उन्होंने कहा वो कोशिश कर रहे हैं जो भी कर सकते हैं। पर आपको ये भी ध्यान में रखना होगा कि ये युद्ध की स्थिति है, सिचुएशन वहां बड़ा चेंज कर रहे हैं वहां पे, और आज भी जैसे देखा काफी बॉम्बिंग वगैरह हुआ है। पर ऐसे हालात के बावजूद हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं और हम यूक्रेनी अथॉरिटीज से इसमें लगातार संपर्क में हैं ताकि उनका शव बाहर आ सके और फिर इंडिया जा सके। एंड जेरी, आपने भी पूछा था जेरी शी, तो लेट मी आंसर इन इंग्लिश ऑन दैट। लुक, यस, वी सॉ दैट, एज आई सेड, लेट मी reiterate on the Russian issue of the corridor. We have been pressing all sides, Ukrainian and Russian, for a safe passage of our citizens. Now, if the Russians have a solution to a corridor, great, that's the way to go. But as I said, we had some indication yesterday of a way out through the southwest of Kharkiv. We took that. I don't have any update on any of the other cities, but we are continuing to press, all sides to see if we can get a safe passage from all the areas, conflict zone where Indian citizens are stranded. कविता जी, मैं यही को दोहराना चाहूंगा कि हम रूसी और यूक्रेनियन से बात कर रहे हैं कि कोई सेफ पैसेज मिल जाए। उसे कॉरिडोर कहें या नहीं, मैं नहीं कह रहा हूं, क्योंकि मुझे मालूम नहीं उसकी कैसी रूपरेखा होगी उसकी। सॉरी, फाइनल राउंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस। You had raised your hand, minute, and you too. Sorry, 5 lot of questions. Okay.
सर, नीरज, न्यूज 18 इंडिया से। कल ही आपने कहा था कि रशियन इनपुट के आधार पे उन 3 जगहों पे जिसमें पेसोचिन भी शामिल है, वहां जाएं बच्चे। तो वहां जब पहुंच गए हैं 1000 के करीब, तो दिक्कत कोऑर्डिनेशन में आ रही है, यूक्रेन की सीमा में है वो, तो यूक्रेन के लोग रसिया बॉर्डर के रास्ते नहीं जाने दे रहे, क्योंकि रशियन इनपुट के आधार पे अगर बच्चे वहां पहुंचे हैं तो फिर रशियन बॉर्डर से क्रॉस क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे? कोई कोऑर्डिनेशन में दिक्कत है या यूक्रेन की तरफ से कोई सहयोग नहीं दिया जा रहा?
ओके, नो, आपने प्लीज टेक दैट एंड देन आई विल, यू आल्सो आस्क, सॉरी
सर, शैलेंद्र फ्रॉम न्यूज़ 18, रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन। कल जो एडवाइजरी आई थी उसमें 3 जगहों के नाम थे, आपने पेसोचिन का जिक्र किया, 1000 स्टूडेंट्स वहां पहुंच चुके हैं एडवाइजरी के बाद। जो 2 जगह है वो बिल्कुल पास में है, एक 1 किलोमीटर की दूरी पे बाबाई है और एक जगह है जो 16 किलोमीटर, वो मैं प्रोनाउंस नहीं कर सकता। ये यहाँ पर जो बाकी 2 जगह है, यहाँ पर कितने स्टूडेंट्स हैं, प्लस क्योंकि आपने कल ऑफिशियली ये कहा था कि ये 3 जगह भी हम बताया गया था, इट वाज नॉट आवर ऑप्शन, सो कैन वी से दैट दीस स्टूडेंट्स आर इन द सेफ कस्टडी ऑफ द रशियन फोर्सेस?
Okay. Your question, please. No, hold on. उनको एक बार पूछने दीजिए। आपने पूछ लिया था ना? You have. अच्छा, I know.
This is Anangsha. I represent the New Indian. Sir, you mentioned like we are in talks with the Russian, and there's a sharp increase in the pace of operation. And after this, is there any response from the Ukrainian authorities?
Sorry, could you repeat your question? I didn't get it.
Yeah, certainly.
The pace is increasing. We are in talks with Russians, and what's the part of the question?
Any response of this, abstaining the vote at the UN? Is there any response from the Ukraine? Be it a message of gratitude or after this election. This is the first thing. The second one, the SWIFT is in talks. The SWIFT banking financial system. The countries, including the EU, are pressuring Russia to cut the divorce it. Is there some shut up things, or is something in talks which could affect India, Russia, or the trade which are commenced through Russia?
Okay, thank you. I think everybody's asked the first question. I'll take just a quick ones if you have. No, you raised your hand first. I think you said very important. It better be. Okay. No pressure, no pressure.
आज चेयर किया विदेश मंत्री ने जो पार्लियामेंट्री कंसल्टेटिव कमेटी है उसको ऑपोजिशन बार बार सरकार को या विदेश मंत्रालय को टारगेट कर रहा है कि जो इवैक्यूएशन का काम है वो समय से नहीं हुआ, लेकिन अंदर से ये जानकारी आई है कि शायद ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज भी इस मुद्दे पे सेम पेज पे है। क्या कुछ अंदर हुआ? और ऑपोजिशन पार्टी का आप कहेंगे कि आप स्पोक्स पर्सन नहीं है, लेकिन अब जयशंकर जी की तरफ से क्या कहा गया और कैसे?
अच्छा, वो आपने पिछले वाला लास्ट सेंटेंस कह दिया। हाँ, anyway, किसने कौन You had a question, or can I close?
Okay. Last question, sir. In terms of the evacuation process, it is moving very fast. We have evacuated almost 18,000 people. The estimates initially were there were 20,000 Indians. So by what time we can expect the evacuation to be completed? I know this can be a hypothetical question, but any like week, 10 days. Okay. Also, there is a story going on that the war was stopped for 6 hours so that evacuation can happen. If you can give us anything that did it actually happen?
Okay, let me quickly go through this, I think. नीरज जी, आपने क्वेश्चन शुरू किया था, हो गए नीरज? हाँ, पीछे पेशोचिन में क्या एग्जैक्टली आपका क्वेश्चन था? रशियन कोऑर्डिनेशन था? हाँ, ठीक। तो क्यों का देखिए आप, एक आपका क्वेश्चन आई थिंक और किसी का क्वेश्चन, शैलेंद्र का भी क्वेश्चन ऐसे था। आपका अनुमान ये कि नहीं वहां गए थे रशियन तो इसीलिए रशियन भी ले जाएंगे वहां से बॉर्डर रशियन, ये हाइपोथेटिकल है। मैंने ये कब कहा था कि वहां रशियन के पास पहुंचेंगे और फिर रशियन दे जाएंगे उनको बॉर्डर? आप उसके साथ लिंक कर रहे हैं कि उन्होंने कहा 130 बसें हैं, पता नहीं, ये अलग अलग चीजें हैं। हमें बताया गया कि अभी ये रूट है, यहां आपके नागरिकों को ले जाइए, ये 3 जगह और सेफ रहेंगे, उनको ऑप्शन दिया गया, वहां ले गए। उसमें और मैं कुछ कह नहीं पाऊंगा इसमें। शैलेंद्र जी, आपके पास ये 3 जगह थी, वो रशियन के सेफ कस्टडी का कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं है, वो यूक्रेनियन टेरिटरी में है, वो फ्री है। एक जगह एम्बेसी ने बंदोबस्त की है स्कूल का, वहां खाने पीने की बंदोबस्त हो रही है, वहां से बसों में या ट्रेनों में, या हम वही निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं क्या रास्ता हो सकता है। इसमें ना रूसी इन्वॉल्व है ना यूक्रेनियन है, बिल्कुल। हाँ, यूक्रेन की वो जगह मतलब देश है, उनके यहाँ सिक्योरिटी वो दे रहे हैं, पर ये सिर्फ अभी तक कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं आया है। हम चाहेंगे कि जल्दी से जल्दी वहां से निकाल लें। 3 जगह थी, पर ऐसा हुआ, भारतीय सब हो सकता है एक साथ ही सोचते हैं, सब वहीं पहुंच गए, सब पेशोचिन नहीं है। हमें तो किसी ने बताया नहीं कि हम मेदुलिजिकोव या वो बाबाई में गए हैं। अब कोई है तो बताएगा, बस हमें मालूम है कि हजार के करीब लोग वहीं हैं। You mentioned Akanksha, right? 2 questions. I didn't understand both of them very well, to be honest. On SWIFT or sanctions, as I have said, let us see the fine print. Let's see it, what exactly is happening. Then we will know how much it impacts us. As I have said, it's not a sanction related to us. It's another country. If and how it impacts us, then we will see. I have nothing to say at this point. And the other thing is, has the abstention led to a response? I'm not sure. We take a position based on various factors and the overall totality of circumstances, as Foreign Secretary explained a couple of days ago. And we have been stating why we have voted in a certain way, our explanations of vote. I don't think there is anything further I can add to that. Aapne zikr, before that, Siddhant, I'll take yours quickly before that. War was stopped, again, is the language that I am not. We were told this is the way to get our citizens out. I limit myself to that. Whether the war was stopped, not stopped, who stopped it, I'm not getting into that. 20,000 was our estimate because on registration. Clearly, if 18,000 have come out, and we estimate at least a couple of thousand there, because as I said, 1,000 are sitting in Pishochin, and there are some people in Sumy, there are some in Kharkiv, there's some more on the western side. So clearly people didn't register. So we estimated this, and I think there will be some more people who will certainly pop up, and we will certainly bring them back. Just because they didn't register doesn't mean we will leave them back. Let me emphasize that. आखिरी प्रश्न जो मेरे टेक्निकली दायरे में नहीं है, देखिए संसदीय मामला पार्लियामेंट्री कंसल्टेटिव कमेटी के बारे में आई थिंक आप जिक्र कर रहे थे, और जयशंकर जी एक्सटर्नल अफेयर विदेश मंत्री ने कहा, उन्होंने ट्वीट कहा कि क्या हुआ है। अब ये गोपनीय तो नहीं, पर इसमें प्रिविलेजेस की बात होती है, उसमें क्या हुआ मैं इसमें बारे में नहीं कह सकता हूं। पर उन्होंने जैसे उसके बाद कहा, मीटिंग के बैठक के बाद कहा कि पूरे देश एकत्रित है इसी इश्यू पे, एक ही भावना से चाहते हैं कि सब लोग हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को वहां से आ जाएं सही सलामत, जितनी जल्दी हो सके। बस यही कॉमन पोजीशन आई थिंक उन्होंने कहा है, और इसके अलावा मैं कुछ कह नहीं पाऊंगा। Okay, I think that is a long one. Thank you very much. Really. Sorry. My apologies. I heard that. I wish I could give you a timeline. 18,000 almost are done. So now it's not a question. As I said, we'll have enough flights. Those who are outside Ukraine's border will be brought back. A lot of flights are being put in. Next 2, 3, 4 days you will see it going on. But it's very difficult to estimate if somebody is in a war zone, a conflict zone, can't come out. I say 2 days and it doesn't happen. Look, so let's not speculate. This is not an area. This is serious stuff. Their lives maybe, they are suffering. They are in. We will try to get them out as soon as possible. We are making all efforts. Let me just emphasize that. I think the entire government machinery is working 24/7 towards this objective. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you for joining this briefing. Please continue to follow the social media handles of our embassies so that you get the latest advisories. And those of you who are stuck in Ukraine, please reach out to our control rooms as well as to our MEA control room. If you feel that you require assistance, you are still at a place where you need to be evacuated. Thank you very much. Good evening.